You think you know everything about your Subaru. You've read the manual, watched the YouTube videos, maybe even talked to a few techs at the dealership. But here's what nobody's telling you. Your Subaru is hiding secrets. Features buried so deep in the software that salespeople don't mention them. Button combinations that unlock capabilities Subaru never advertised. Maintenance tricks that can save you hundreds of dollars and hours of frustration. I've spent nearly 2 decades with my hands inside these vehicles, diagnosing problems, fixing issues, and discovering things that aren't supposed to be common knowledge. And just last month, I showed a woman who'd been driving her Forester for 8 years, a feature that solved a problem she'd been dealing with since day one. She looked at me like I'd just performed magic. The truth is, Subaru builds these capabilities into every vehicle, but they don't exactly advertise them. Some are intentionally hidden to reduce customer confusion. Others exist because of regulations or manufacturing processes. And a few are just engineering decisions that never made it into the marketing materials. What I'm about to share with you isn't the usual stuff you find in top 10 lists online. This isn't about heated seats or how to fold down the back row. These are legitimate professional-level secrets that change how you interact with your vehicle. Stick around because by the time we're done, you're going to see your Subaru in a completely different light. Let's start with something that could save you from being stranded in the worst possible moment. Your key fob dies when you're miles from anywhere. The battery finally gave up, and you're standing in a parking lot holding a useless piece of plastic. Most people immediately panic and start Googling locksmiths or calling for a tow. But there's a hidden backup system that works even when the battery is completely dead. Take your key fob and physically touch it directly to the push button start. Don't just hold it nearby. Actually press the start button using the key fob itself as if it were your finger. The fob has an RFID chip inside that doesn't require battery power to function. When you press the fob against the button, the car's receiver picks up the chip signal and recognizes your key. The engine starts exactly as it normally would. This backup system has been built into every push-button Subaru since they started using the technology. I've personally used this trick to help stranded customers at least 30 times, and every single one of them had no idea it was possible. The look of relief when their car starts with a supposedly dead key is priceless. This also works for unlocking the door, by the way. There's a specific spot on the door handle where you can hold the fob to unlock even without battery power. Check your owner's manual for the exact location because it varies by model year. Now let's talk about that obnoxious seatbelt chime that drives everyone crazy. You're moving your car 15 feet in your driveway or repositioning in a parking lot, and that relentless dinging starts immediately. It's a safety feature, sure, but there are situations where it's just unnecessary noise. Subaru actually programmed a way to modify this behavior, and it's completely legal because it doesn't eliminate the chime entirely. Here's the exact sequence. Sit in your car and buckle your seatbelt before you do anything else. Then start the engine with the belt already clicked in. Once the engine is running, unbuckle the belt. Now here's where it gets specific. Rebuckle and unbuckle the seatbelt exactly 9 times in rapid succession. You've got about 30 seconds to complete this sequence, so don't hesitate between clicks. On the 9th time, leave the belt buckled and don't unbuckle it again. If you did it correctly, you'll hear the chime beep in a fast pattern that sounds different from the normal warning. That's your confirmation. What you've just done is reprogram the chime to only activate once you reach 15 miles per hour. Below that speed, silence. This is perfect for property owners who move vehicles around frequently or for situations where you're doing low-speed maneuvering. The safety system still functions normally once you're actually driving on roads. I've done this to my own Outback, and it's one of those quality-of-life improvements you don't realize you needed until you have it. Here's something that'll save you a diagnostic fee. When your check engine light comes on, most people immediately drive to a shop and pay anywhere from $100 to $200 just to have someone plug in a scanner and read the code. Your Subaru can tell you those codes for free using a hidden diagnostic mode built right into the dashboard. Turn your key to the on position without actually starting the engine. If you have push-button start, press it twice without touching the brake pedal. Now locate the trip meter reset button on your instrument cluster. Press and hold that button down. While you're still holding it, turn the key to off and then immediately back to on again. Keep holding the trip button through this entire process for at least 10 seconds total. When you release it, your gauge cluster will light up and enter diagnostic mode. The display will start cycling through system tests and showing you information that's normally hidden. Watch for any codes that appear. They'll start with letters like P, B, C, or U, followed by 4 numbers. Write down every code you see. Once you have them, a simple internet search will tell you exactly what each code means. I'm talking detailed explanations of which sensor failed, what system is affected, and whether it's something urgent or just a minor issue. This diagnostic mode exists on the vast majority of Subarus built between 2005 and 2020. Some newer models have slightly different access procedures, but the concept is the same. I use this myself before I even bother connecting my professional scan tool because it gives me a head start on diagnosis. You can make informed decisions about repairs instead of blindly trusting whatever a shop tells you is wrong. Let's talk about a wiring secret that opens up possibilities most people never consider. You want to add auxiliary lighting to your Subaru. Maybe LED light bars, maybe driving lights for off-road use, maybe just extra visibility. Normally, this means running new wires, tapping into circuits, installing relays, and spending hours on complex electrical work. But here's what Subaru doesn't advertise. Even if your vehicle didn't come with factory fog lights, the wiring for them is already installed. Subaru uses the same wiring harness across multiple trim levels to simplify manufacturing. That means somewhere behind your front bumper, there's a connector just hanging there waiting to be used. Pop your hood and look behind the bumper cover. On both sides, you're searching for a plug that's capped off or just dangling unused. That's your fog light circuit, complete with proper gauge wire, correct fusing, and a pathway back to the fuse box. You can connect aftermarket lights directly to this existing circuit. Add an appropriate relay and a switch in the cabin, and suddenly you have a professional-grade auxiliary lighting system without any of the usual headaches. The circuit is already protected by the correct amperage fuse, so you're not going to cause electrical problems. The wiring is already routed through proper channels, so nothing's going to chafe or short out. This trick saves both time and money, and the end result looks factory because it basically is factory. I've helped customers install everything from small LED pods to serious off-road light bars using this method, and it works flawlessly every single time. If you drive a manual transmission Subaru, you've probably noticed the hill start assist feature. The car automatically holds the brakes for a couple seconds when you're on an incline, giving you time to transition from brake to gas without rolling backward. It's great for beginners, but if you're an experienced driver who knows how to work a clutch, it can actually be annoying. The system holds longer than you want, or engages when you're trying to do something specific. Subaru built in a way to temporarily disable this feature when you don't want it interfering. Sit in your car and turn the ignition to on without starting the engine. Press down on the brake pedal and hold it. While holding the brake, pull your parking brake up exactly 1 click. You should feel it engage just slightly. Now, with both the foot brake and parking brake engaged, start the engine. Once it's running, release the parking brake completely, then release the foot brake. The hill start assist is now deactivated for this drive cycle. It'll come back the next time you start the car, which is actually perfect, because you can choose when you want it on or off. This gives you complete control based on driving conditions. If you're in stop and go traffic on hills, leave it active. If you're doing spirited driving or need precise control, disable it. The flexibility is already programmed into your car. You just need to know the secret handshake to access it. Here's a maintenance trick that'll save you money on something most people pay a shop to do. Your cabin air filter gets dirty and needs a replacement every 12 to 15,000 miles depending on where you drive. Dealers charge anywhere from $50 to $80 for this service, when the actual filter costs maybe $15. You can replace it yourself in under 5 minutes without any tools. Open your glove box and empty everything out. Look at the sides of the glove box and you'll see stoppers that prevent it from falling all the way down. Squeeze the sides of the glove box inward to release those stoppers. The entire glove box will now drop down and hang freely, revealing the cabin air filter housing directly behind it. There's usually a tab or small cover that slides or pops off. Remove that and you can slide the old filter straight out. Note which direction the arrows on the filter are pointing before you remove it. The new filter needs to go in the same orientation. Slide the new one in, replace the cover, pop the glove box back up until the stoppers catch, and you're done. This literally takes longer to explain than it does to actually perform. I've timed myself at 3 minutes, including getting the new filter out of the package. There's no reason to pay someone else to do this when it's designed to be owner serviceable. The money you save over the lifetime of your vehicle adds up to hundreds of dollars for something that requires zero mechanical skill. Your windshield wipers have a maintenance position that most owners never discover. When you need to replace wiper blades or clean under them properly, you want the arms to stand up away from the windshield. But if you just pull them up during normal operation, they'll snap back down as soon as you let go. There's a service mode that locks them in the upright position. Turn off your car completely. Within about 10 seconds of turning it off, turn the ignition back to the on position without starting the engine. Now reach down and activate your wiper control as if you were going to use the wipers. The wiper arms will move to the top of their arc and stop in the vertical position. Turn the ignition off and they'll stay there. You can now lift the arms away from the windshield and they'll hold that position, giving you full access to change blades or clean the windshield edge properly. When you're done, just turn the car back on normally and the wipers will reset to their standard position. This service mode exists specifically for maintenance purposes, but Subaru doesn't exactly publish instructions for accessing it. I only learned about it from a factory training manual years ago, and it's made wiper changes so much easier that I can't imagine doing it the old way anymore. Let's talk about your transmission and a reset procedure that can fix weird shifting behavior. If your automatic transmission starts shifting strangely, hesitating between gears, or just feeling off, it might not be a mechanical problem. The transmission computer learns your driving style over time and adapts its shift points accordingly. Sometimes this learning gets corrupted or develops bad habits. You can reset it completely and let it relearn from scratch. Start your car and let it reach normal operating temperature. Drive it normally for a few minutes to make sure everything is warmed up. Park somewhere safe and keep the engine running. Shift through every gear position slowly. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, and if you have a manual mode, cycle through those positions too. Hold each position for about 5 seconds. Now shift, back to park, turn off the engine, and pop the hood. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Wait exactly 10 minutes. This is important because the transmission computer needs time to fully discharge. After 10 minutes, reconnect the battery and start the car. The transmission has now forgotten all its learned behavior. For the next 100 miles or so, drive as you normally would. The computer will relearn your habits and adapt the transmission accordingly, but this time without whatever corruption caused the problem. I've seen this fix issues that customers thought would require a transmission rebuild. It costs nothing and takes maybe 20 minutes total. Always try this before you start throwing money at transmission repairs. Your Subaru has a secret menu in the Infotainment system that shows you data dealers use for diagnostics. Access varies slightly by model year, but the general method is consistent. Turn on your infotainment system and wait for it to fully load. Now this is where it gets model specific, but for most Subarus, you need to press and hold a specific combination of buttons. On many models, it's holding the home button and the volume knob simultaneously for about 10 seconds. On others, it's a series of screen taps in a specific pattern. Once you access it, you'll see pages of information that aren't available in the normal menus. Real-time fuel economy data down to the 100th of a mile per gallon. Exact coolant temperature in degrees rather than just a gauge. Battery voltage readings. Individual tire pressure numbers that are more precise than the standard display. Even transmission fluid temperature on some models. This information is invaluable for understanding what your car is actually doing. You can spot developing problems before they become serious. A slowly dropping battery voltage over weeks indicates an alternator starting to fail. Coolant temperature that's running hotter than usual might point to a thermostat issue. The data is all there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows how to access it. I use this menu constantly when diagnosing customer vehicles because it gives real numbers instead of idiot lights and vague warnings. Here's something for off-road enthusiasts. Your Subaru's X mode or vehicle dynamics control has different sensitivity settings that aren't explained in the manual. When you activate X mode, it's actually running a preset program that manages throttle, transmission, and braking. But if you engage it using a specific method, you can access a more aggressive version designed for serious off-road conditions. The standard way to activate X mode is just pressing the button once. For the enhanced version, you need to be completely stopped with your foot on the brake. Press and hold the X mode button for 5 full seconds instead of just tapping it. On models with dual X mode settings, this activates a hidden third setting that's even more capable. You'll notice the system holds gears longer, allows more wheel slip before intervention, and manages power delivery more aggressively. This setting is designed for rock crawling, deep mud, or situations where you need maximum control. It's not for casual use on slightly slippery roads, but when you're genuinely off-road and need every bit of capability your Subaru has, this hidden mode makes a significant difference. The system will show you it's active with a different indicator pattern, and you can feel the difference immediately in how the vehicle responds to throttle inputs. Your keyless entry system can be programmed to unlock just the driver's door or all doors depending on your preference. Most people don't realize this is configurable and just accept whatever the factory default is. You can change it through a specific button sequence on the key fob itself. Press the lock button, then immediately press unlock twice in quick succession. The lights will flash in a pattern indicating you've entered programming mode. Now press unlock once for driver's door only, or press it twice for all doors. Press lock to save the setting. The lights will flash again to confirm. This setting persists until you change it again, so you only need to do this once. If you live in an area where security is a concern, having only the driver's door unlock first means someone can't open the rear door and hop in while you're getting in the front. If you regularly have passengers, unlocking all doors saves time. It's a small thing, but it's exactly the kind of customization that improves daily use of your vehicle. Let's talk about cold weather starts and a trick that reduces engine wear. When you start your Subaru in freezing temperatures, oil is thick and hasn't circulated properly yet. Revving the engine or driving hard immediately causes excessive wear because components aren't properly lubricated. There's a warm-up procedure that gets oil flowing faster without causing damage. Start your engine and let it idle for exactly 30 seconds. Not 2 minutes, not 5 seconds, 30 seconds. This is long enough for oil pressure to stabilize, but not so long that you're wasting fuel. After 30 seconds, drive gently, keeping RPMs below 2,500 for the first mile. This generates heat much faster than idling while keeping stress low. Watch your temperature gauge, and once it starts moving toward normal operating range, you can drive as usual. Modern Subarus have sensors that enrich the fuel mixture and adjust timing during cold starts, but they still need that first minute of gentle operation to properly distribute oil. I've seen engines torn down after years of cold revving versus engines that were warmed up properly, and the wear difference is dramatic. This simple habit can add years to your engine's life. Your cruise control has a hidden feature that lets you adjust speed in smaller increments than usual. Normally, when you tap the resume or accelerate button, speed jumps up or down by 1 mile per hour. But if you tap it very quickly in rapid succession, you can make micro adjustments of less than 1 mile per hour. This is useful when you're trying to sit at exactly the speed limit, or when you're following someone and need precise speed matching. The system responds to how long you hold the button, with shorter taps making smaller changes. It takes a bit of practice to get the feel for it, but once you do, you have much finer control over your cruise speed. This works on all Subaru models with electronic cruise control. It's not documented anywhere because it's just how the system naturally responds to inputs. But knowing you can do it changes how you use cruise control entirely.